So this is it so far. This will be the frame, the edge, the curve, the side stones of this area. As you can see, I was trying to align the edges as much as possible. I actually didn't really have to do anything with these edges to make them aligning so well. I just had to find the tile, the natural tile, we could call this that way, which will align with each other somewhat, and this is what turned out. Now, as you can see, this area here, is a little bit higher than the area, that edge around there, and it's even a little bit higher than those areas down there, and they're tilting. So I was going to have at least this much of an angle with the first row, and then of course the second row will be more really straighter than this. After this, I will take out these stones here, these ones. This is the second row, as you can tell. That's the next. If you confident enough, you can take 2 rows out, as long as you set them back in a way you know you're really able to put them back. So it's and then if you need to, like I already mentioned before, if you need to, you can always change your tiles, your stones. Like I changed stone here, 1 stone, 2, 3, 4 stones, and I also changed the position of this one without any trouble. I was able to find, and most of the times when you are just naturally collecting stones or tiles for stoneworks, most of the times, as long as you can do it with a peace of mind, with your peace of mind, your own peace of mind, then you will find all the different shapes and forms and widths and lengths and thicknesses and narrowness what you will need for your project. Maybe you will need to change something, adjust something, change something, but as far as my experiences go, believe it or not, from a big pile of something like stone or rocks or tiles, if they came in different shapes, I was always able to find the ones which I needed to complete the project. It helps to quantize the mind, because if you look at the pile, or if you spread them out, if you spread like the materials out, let's say they are in different shapes, but you have to make sense out of it, some type of sense out of it. You gotta lay it down somehow, and it's gotta look good. Then believe it or not, your subconsciousness, as long as your orientation, your focus is about, as long as your focus is about reinstalling the elements by getting them organized in certain ways you imagined or someone else imagined, then that was able to share exactly what they imagined. Then your brain, as long as it's not disturbed or polluted too much, the best is interrupt, but that's hard to find when your mind is completely capable of having that tranquility, that zen, that peace, that relaxation, where it could be most creatively uh, produce something humanly rightfully. That means humanly creating something. That means human life supportively, supporting, creating something. For that, all you will need is imagination, knowing what you, being determined about your fantasy, what you're fantasizing, your imagination, and stick with it, or at least if if you can't really stick with it, then have the open mind, your mind open enough to make changes or do adjustments. That's very important, and then you will get satisfaction again. Absolutely. Even if you lost it, or even if you don't have enough, you will get the satisfaction because what you're doing, it is satisfying, humanly satisfying, so it will get you there. So originally the human mind, the human brain is a quantumized intellectual mechanism. Human mind, the human brain, of course, quantumized physiological mechanism as well as biological, biochemical. And in order to keep it that way, it needs what it is already, in the most suitable way as possible. The human brain is I can't really determine how old it is. It's probably older than time, as well as it's older than as much we could measure the time as a unit, which we could use to record, categorize, then store events as memories, measure, record, categorize, store. So anyhow, the next thing what I will do after we already now kind of we're able to get an idea what we are looking for, where we are heading to, what we actually got, is I will need to bring more sand from that pile to here, replace this next row of tiles back, make them as smooth where they connect, as smooth as it looks good, as it feels nice. Then continue from right to the left, and afterwards, of course, we will continue from the left to the right, just to wrap everything up in this area. I will be back with tons of more information. So Einstein was once mentioned that logic will take you from A to B to C to D, E, F, G, G, H, J, K, L. You know, logically take you from one point to another, but or from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and all that. But quantumized realities we call fantasies or imaginations or open minds, open mentalities, completely open mentalities will take you everywhere. And also, depending on your focuses or your agenda or your quality of nature you are looking for, it will take you anywhere between everywhere. Like, if you look at the whole picture, it will take you to all of its elements, all of its components, all of its particles. And then if you really want to look at into particles, it could take you anywhere. So it could also take you what particles are all about, what's between energy, what's between physical things, what's between psychological things, and what will actually create what and how. After I know what I'm looking for, the type of quality of nature, as long as I got an opportunity in every ways what I require to do something right, as long as that, just like everybody else, I will be able to do it. I will be able to create things just like anybody else is able to create things. But they got their main focus or focuses aligned with by quality of nature. Quality of nature is extremely important. Like look at this right now. The quantity isn't so much. I already worked to maybe altogether actually physically worked probably as much as I was recording, which is about 40 minutes. Because recording, of course, they're taking so much more. They are about. They were so much more about intellectually delivering the information what it requires to actually get started with doing something. So after gardening, I know we already begun with the gardening video. We will also continue that. After I recorded the video, I was still working a little bit more on the bedding, on the garden bed. So next time in the next video regarding to gardening or working in a garden, you will see there is a little bit more the job work got done rather than what was on the previous video, and that's a little bit of surprise. It just shows the process, the progress. And then once you will finish, if you will ever record or make pictures of your own projects, once you compare the first pictures with the last ones, you see that huge gap what you filled in, and then the quality of work, the quality of nature, what you put in it, you will see all of that. That provides me a huge satisfaction. I am doing this project voluntarily, including the one in the garden, because I'm living over here, and I love doing creative things, not only for survival purposes. They are probably the last reasons what I want to think about, but more about improving reasons to improve living conditions. The other huge reason is to sustain human nature. Of course, I don't want to say that. I already mentioned it in many forms before. It's all about keeping the human spiritual quality, which is godlike as well as angelic, in a good shape, in a certain shape where it belongs to, according to human soul qualities, not any others. as long as it's possible, not any others. That's what that's what I really see, how these little steps of everyday doings or routines, or if not every day, but every year routines, or every month routines, monthly routines, or weekly routines, or even they could be hourly routines or momentary routines, behaviors. They really, they really play a big role of how we feel, because we could create not only, of course, be careful of both. Be careful of tuning into what is actually very good when we see something very good, and then we experiencing with that something very good, something very good, or we could create it. When we creating it, we already tuning into it, and then when we tuning into it, we already somehow, somewhere, some much, we are creating it too. Okay, we'll continue this awesome project. Lovely day for everyone.